Thank you for your interest in I9Everywhere. I'm going to take you through a quick walkthrough of the software, show you exactly how I9Everywhere does it. First of all, I don't know if you've noticed this, but late last year, the Department of Justice and ICE actually announced that they were doubling the fines for I-9 paperwork violations and taking the fines for H-1B program violations all the way up to $100,000 per worker. This is quite severe. That was even before the election, and like the results or not, there's a new administration in office, and immigration enforcement has definitely come to the forefront. Every week there's a new story about workforce place enforcement, raids taking place by ICE and other agencies. If you're not sure of your current situation with your employment roster and their immigration statuses or your paperwork for the Form I-9, now is definitely the time to take a look at it before somebody comes knocking at your door wanting to see your forms. So, a little bit about I9Everywhere and how it works. We started doing I9Everywhere early in 2016 to solve the problem of the remote hire. I don't know if you know this, but in California, they actually passed a business code provision mandating that notaries could no longer sign Section 2 of the I-9. Now, the way that we hire employees and the way that we do paperwork has changed a lot since the I-9 came out in 1985. We're hiring people at a distance. A lot of times we never meet our new employees in our offices. The way we interview people is much different than it was 10 years ago. On the Form I-9, I'm sure you know, you actually have to physically look at the documents at the time that you hire somebody to see that they're real and that they relate to the person in front of you. Now, if you're in Seattle and you're hiring somebody in Chicago and you don't have anybody else in Chicago to verify those documents, your options are slim. What do? How do you find somebody over there to look at those documents? You're certainly not going to fly them into your headquarters in Seattle and have them come into your office just to fill out a piece of paperwork, and you're not going to go to Chicago. That's where I-9 Anywhere comes into play. So our California clients reached out to us and said, hey, Point HR, we know that you guys have a lot of different services in the HR field. Do you have anybody out here in California that can act as our authorized representative to sign Section 2 of the Form I-9? So we thought about it a little bit. The problem wasn't that the notaries weren't qualified to sign the I-9. It's that this provision that they passed in the business code prohibited anybody that wasn't a bonded and insured immigration attorney or immigration consultant from signing an immigration form. Several other states have followed with that, including Texas since then. So if you couldn't get somebody to sign it for a fee, how do you get somebody to maybe sign it for free? So we brought a little bit of the sharing economy to the equation, the Uber, the DoorDash. We asked our programmers about it. We said, hey, how can we go ahead and do this? And that's where I9Everywhere was born. Not only did we solve the problem of the remote witness by using somebody from your applicant's own social and professional network to act as your authorized representative to sign Section 2 of the Form I-9, but we also broke down all the steps along the way, looking at all the different documents, looking at all the different citizenship types, and really broke it down into a wizard so it was so simple that, like Geico says, even a caveman can do it. So you log in, we actually interview the new employee, find out what citizenship status they are, and then we use our wizard to walk them through the documents they may have access to prove they're eligible to work in the United States. In that process, we show them samples of those documents, show them where the document numbers, the expiration dates, the issuing authorities are at on those documents, so that way they can compare their own documentation to the documentation on screen and make sure they have the right thing. So I'm going to take you through the steps of that and show you how this is done. Like I said, the remote witness, we actually use somebody in the new employee's own social and professional network to sign Section 2 of the I-9. After they name that person, we actually vet them using certain technology tools like geolocation, IP addresses, device IDs, timestamps, browser fingerprints to actually prove that that person is who they say they are. We also have built-in instant messaging into our software app, so that way we can communicate with that witness and that employee in real time to make sure that they have everything that they need, that they're getting everything complete, that everything works 100% of the time. A question I get asked at every one of these presentations I do is, hey, who can actually sign Section 2 of the I-9 as my authorized representative? We've had numerous discussions with ICE, with UNSCIS, with the Department of Justice, Department of Labor. We actually have a ICE office here in Dallas, Texas. It's not too far from us, where we've actually talked to the ICE investigators, and to a person, they've said that any adult can sign the I-9 as your authorized representative. Legally, anyone can do it. The only thing that they want to know who that person is, they want to know when that form was signed, and then we go the extra step using our geolocation technology and our device IDs to show exactly when and where it was signed and by who. All that information is captured in our tracking log. That's viewable by you in our dashboard, so you can see exactly who that person is, what their phone number is, what their email address is, what their location is, what their device ID was, all that. So there's everything's 100% above the board. If there's any question, everything's tracked and 100% there, so you know exactly when everything happened and where everything happened. So the first step is registering your employee to complete their new I-9. There's two ways to do that. First way is real simple: log into I9Anywhere. We need a few pieces of information: applicant's first name, applicant's last name, their email address, their phone number, and their hire date. We need that hire date so that way we can queue up reminders, let them know, hey, you have 72 hours to get this done. Hey, it's 48 hours to get this done. 24 hours, today's your first day of work. You need to go ahead and get this form done before you start work today. We also have an API, so that way if you have a applicant tracking system, human resources management system, an HCM, something like that, we can directly connect end-to-end with that system, so that way you don't even have to log into our website. You can initiate an invite straight from your human resources system. It'll send out. Your applicant will get that I-9 form done before their first day of work. On their first day, it'll be there in your system waiting for you. No muss, no fuss. It's really quite magical when you get all the pieces in place. You can get that form signed even before the first day, saving literally hours of paperwork for the applicant and yourself in getting the process done. After they're registered, they'll receive a SMS text and an email from us with very detailed information, as well as a link to our site, so that way they can go ahead and log in and start their process. After they're registered, your new employee will receive an SMS text from us, as well as an email with very detailed information on what they need to do, when they need to do it, and why they need to do it. We're very heavily leveraged into text technology. Emails can wind up in spam folders. A lot of people are ignoring their inboxes on the email. We find that people have their phone with them 24/7. On average, people check their phone every 15 seconds. So we find that the response rate to a text message is almost instantaneous. When they go in that text message and click that link, or click that link in the email, it takes them to I9Everywhere. All the instructions are there as well, along with their username and password. They go ahead and log in and start up the process. We're going to go through it now, show you exactly how that happens. First, your new employee logs in with their username and password. Next, we prompt them to enter in all the information from Section 1 of the Form I-9, their first name, their last name, address, date of birth, social security number, all that information needed. Then we'll prompt them for their citizenship status. Based on that, we'll launch our wizard and ask them a number of questions about the documents they may have access to. If they're an alien authorized to work, we're going to ask them for their passport number, their expiration dates, electronic signatures. Then we're going to ask them, once they pick the documents that they're going to use, student visa, H-1B, whatever it is, we'll access their camera phone so they can take pictures of those documents. Once again, we have sample documents in there so they can see exactly what they're looking for. Those documents that they take pictures of, those will only be viewable by you, the HR person, when the I-9 is complete. Those are never seen by the witness. The witness actually has to see the physical IDs. Once they're done with that, they'll name their witness that's going to assist them in completing Section 2. We'll send them an email and a text message as well. We also prompt the new employee to reach out to them via phone call, via text, or via social networks to let them know, hey, we need to meet somewhere to get this Form I-9 done for my new job. It could be library, could be the Starbucks, could be their house, could be the office, anywhere where they can actually physically show them those documents, so that way they can enter the document numbers and expiration dates to verify those documents. Once the witness gets that text and that email, they'll be able to click on a link in there. We'll ask them some questions in reference to who they are, what their address is, what their phone number is, etc., so that way we could store all that information along with those device IDs, IP addresses, and geotags, so we know exactly who that person is. In this case here, we're using a Social Security card and a driver's license. they'll go ahead and click on those icons. Once again, we have sample documents in there showing them exactly where the document numbers are at, where the issuing agencies are at, where the expiration dates are at. They'll enter in those document numbers. They'll sign it electronically, signifying that they saw those documents in person, and then the I-9 will be complete. Once the I-9 is complete, you will get a email letting you know that, and you can log in and download a PDF version of the form. It'll look something like this. Page 1 and 2 of the Form I-9, 100% complete, 100% correct. All the document numbers are correct. In all those fields, we have error checking technology to make sure that that the document numbers are in the correct format, that the expiration dates are valid, that the issuing agencies are correct. We also can queue this up so that way you don't have to log in to our website to get that PDF. If we have APIs as well that can take that PDF, insert it straight into your ATS or your human resources software, so that way on their first day of work you'll have that I-9 PDF 100% complete, 100% correct, waiting there in their employee file. So it's a great system, works like a charm. In the back end, we have a full set of tracking mechanisms that show expiration dates. We have a re-verification tool where you can re-verify expiring documents. We have full access to auditing and compliance screens as well, and we are fully integrated with E-Verify, where we can do E-Verify off this process as well. It's a great solution. If you'd like to see some more screen caps and see the back end of that software, please let us know. We can schedule a one-on-one demo to take you fully in there to give you a full walkthrough of the whole software. So it's a great solution. There's nothing else like it on the marketplace right now. We're the only company that's actually doing this. We have a patent pending on the technology. So it's great. So we'd love to get you a trial account. We'd love to tell you some more about it. So if you're interested, please click below and we can get you started. All right? Thanks a lot for your time and look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.